Hey, 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 guys. Grant Cardone is with us on LabCoatAgents. Thank you so much. How are you, Grant?
Good, I'm good, and I'm excited about being with you tonight and hopefully helping a bunch of real estate agents be better at their craft.
Yes, well, I wanted to just kind of bring you on this impromptu meeting because as I was getting ready for the boot camp this week and I was looking at the content and Dave was shooting me over that stuff, I was just thinking like, I would I would be wrong of not sharing this with my colleagues, and so I always, as I've plugged into just listening to everything that you coach, and honestly, when I listen to your own salespeople and I could hear your voice through, your training, and I hear, there's so much excellence that I wanted you to share what you're doing this weekend, what's happening this weekend, because our agents need to know, what's going on with the boot camp.
Yeah, I'm doing an event this weekend for a virtual event. We just finished a big conference for 2,200 people. It was probably the biggest first conference back since COVID.
And I was there in Florida.
Yeah, it was called the 10X Growth Conference. I do this one time a year. It's business people from all over the world. It's typically 12 to 13,000 people at that event. It's been as big as 30,000, but because of COVID, we haven't done one in a year, and we did 2,200 people here in Miami. They're very expensive. First conference back since COVID.
And I was there in Florida.
Yeah, it was called the 10X Growth Conference. I do this one. I'm getting feedback on my end. You hear that?
I think I did, but it's gone now.
Okay. And so it's people are paying $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000 to come to this event. And so we followed it up with an event where people get access to me for 3 days for $97, 3 full days of coaching on sales, marketing, and finance, and how to execute it and put it together. So, part of the reason I just want to address, I know you got a big audience there, and you guys, if you've seen me on YouTube, you'll see all kind of crazy stuff in there because I've done a great job at getting attention over the years. This is really, really important for the real estate agents. Professional agents need to understand that the game on attention has changed. The best broker will not win the game in the future. The best known broker will win the game. And I discovered this about 12 years ago when social media started popping, and I'm watching people like the Kardashians. She just became a billionaire, hit the Forbes list because of the job she did on social media. And it's just like, I'm like, hey, that can apply to everybody. Everybody needs to celebritize their professionalism now. Mm-hmm. And so if you want to make more money, whether it's real estate, finance, chiropractic, plumbing, contracting, roofing, whatever, I've done I've worked with Fortune 500 companies. I've worked with a company that was doing $5 billion of sales, and they gave me a piece of the action to get them another $1 billion. So like these are big monster organizations, all want to do things a little differently, but the thing they had in common was they want to grow. So that's what we're doing this weekend, spending time talking, number one, about finance, which real estate agents are at a disadvantage.
Yes.
Because you guys are educated about your finances.
No, they make a lot of money and they upgrade their lifestyle, and then they have zero idea of what to do with it.
Yeah, or you're not properly motivated, so you give up a point when you shouldn't be giving up a point to a rich person that doesn't even need your point. Like, just think about it. When the buyer of a $6 million house cracks on you for 1 percentage point, as soon as they save that, whatever that number was, 1% on 6 million is what, $6,000? They go out and buy a $12,000 bag to go with their new house. It's not like they saved the money that they gave you. You probably deserve the same bag they bought, but they don't even, it's not like they needed it. You're giving money to the wrong people. And that's really just about 2 things: being properly financially educated, not about how to make enough money to survive, but to make enough money to make sure other people around you do well. Right. And then number 2, it's really about sales and negotiations. It's not about the real estate license itself. It's about mastering the art of negotiating.
And what is the sales portion that you guys go over in the boot camp?
Well, it's like, okay, like things like the price myth. Why are people even objecting you over price? Why 6 million, 6.2 million, 6.8 million, 5.9 million? They could have bought it last year for 4.8 and they didn't. And now it's in Miami. Like in Miami, you couldn't give stuff away a year ago. Now you can't. Like you can price it almost anything you want. It won't even appraise.
Yeah, I just got a $30,000 like below appraisal on a property today.
Yeah, like it's not gonna, and they're still gonna buy it, by the way. And if they don't buy it, somebody else is gonna buy it. So
There's a
now
cash offer sitting if we don't come up with the funds for it. Right.
yeah, exactly. So now what's going to happen is the real estate broker that can negotiate certainty in the buyer's mind is going to get the deal. It's not a sales job. It's a certainty job. And the thing that I teach about sales different than like, this is not a Tom Hopkins class. I love Tom. Brian, it's not a Brian Tracy class. This is not a Tony Robbins class. This is not about how excited you are. It is about analytically. Do you understand how to actually handle a price objection that is not even relevant? Okay. In most cases, these people are buying homes that they don't need with money they don't have. Okay. Like it's insane what people are doing. The guy's buying a second house and he's going to complain to you about the price. There's so many little easy tricks to handle that, whether it's a $6 million house or a $60 product that you're selling online. We've done it all. Like I sell $60 products online. We raised $500 million in cash off Instagram and Facebook using the same exact strategies I'll be sharing this weekend.
Wow. And so there's the sales, the marketing piece, right? So the strategies on marketing.
How do you get known? How do you become a celebrity real estate agent? How do you become more like the people you're seeing on TV? Like, and you might be like, well, I don't want to be a celebrity. Yes, your buyers need you to become a celebrity.
Right. For you to represent them well, people need to know your name.
They're not going to call you if they don't know you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows you is more important than who you know.
Mm-hmm.
They know you, they'll take your phone call. And this is something I did not know 12 years ago. I was so busy trying to make the right connections, but who knows you will determine how much they pay you, how often they pay you, and if they pay you. And so what we'll do is we'll spend all day Saturday showing you, like I had 0 followers on social media 12 years ago. Today, I can't go to a grocery store and somebody doesn't say, what's up, Grant, what's up? Good. Man, I follow your YouTube channel. I follow your Instagram. And it's only been like, it's literally only been like 8 or 10 years since we've been banging on that. And we're going to share that exact strategy. 6 of the 8 years, we didn't even spend any money on the ads. It was all organic. Not one ad dollar was spent in the first 6 years.
Wow. Wow. And what amazes me honestly about your family, and that's what I love about, when I knew that I was going to look at coming into EXP under Elena, I really had to get to know you guys, and get around your family. And just I've seen you guys, it doesn't matter how known you are, you still treat the common person with the same like respect and courtesy and kindness. And so you wouldn't even know that you have that much influence because you guys are just that down to earth.
Elena and I came from, but we both were raised in Louisiana by middle-class families. Our parents worked hard. I lost my dad when I was 10 years old. And I was raised by a single mother. So at 10 years old, all I wanted to do was take care of my mom. And I couldn't do anything. And I became this really rambunctious, outspoken, messy, kind of diamond in the rough person that I never. Yeah, 2 of us, by the way. Probably trying to get mom's attention. And so this has developed this kind of like, I've never gotten any breaks in my life, literally. Like, it's been very, very difficult for me. I had a drug problem for 10 years. I remember all that like it was yesterday. And you
don't forget that that's where you came from,
I was brought up in the middle class and went into poverty. I blew everything. I was the black sheep of my family. Okay. My sister would not trust me to go see my mother in the hospital. I was such a mess. I had $40,000 of debt. I had 3 friends that ended up getting killed when I went to a treatment center. So I could literally be one of those people. Right. So I'm so fortunate and so appreciative of where I've gotten to in my life, turning my life around. I know how hard life is for so many people. And you know what Elena and I have created, and I got two beautiful little kids, Sabrina and Scarlett, that are just fantastic. And
They're fantastic.
yeah.
They inspire me whenever they speak on stage. Is that Sabrina? Is she going to come say hi?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people cannot like me. Come on, you got to like her.
No, they're so high. Sabrina, there's like 130,000 realtors on this Facebook group, so you can say hi to them.
Hello, realtors. Hello.
What advice would you give the real estate agents? What enthusiasm or inspiration would you share with them, Miss 11-year-old?
Well, I've never been a realtor. I mean, at least not in this lifetime. And I don't really know how all of that stuff works, but all I know is that you guys got to make money one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Whether you're a realtor or you work at the grocery store.
Right. And I remember when you shared about like, tell me something you learned from your dad about hard work and integrity.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, the cats.
Uh-oh, the cats are eating she's making dinner. See, like our kids, they're cooking dinner right now. Today, some boxes came in here. I'm like, Sabrina, can you go clean up the boxes? She's like, they're not my boxes. I said, well, they are now. And so we really get the kids to be able to contribute and give back. And go ahead, Sabrina.
Well,
You want to say anything?
integrity and ethics, they're really the only thing that separate me from the person in jail.
Wow.
Or separate the super rich from the people in jail.
You think the super rich have integrity?
Not all of them.
Not all.
Definitely not all of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's important not to have too high of a level of integrity. No, I will not eat anything. I cannot hurt anything.
Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. So you're saying, she's saying there has to be, maybe I will eat a fish that I catch,
Yeah. She's like,
She's saying
sometimes I can pass.
Complete integrity would be not kill anything, and then she wouldn't eat, and then she would kill herself. I think that was
right. No, she has to kill the animal, right? I have to eat.
Yeah, thank you.
Because was one of them you're a vegetarian, right? You're vegan?
So I went vegan before I did Undercover Billionaire. Okay, it was December 2019, and I saw the book Game Changer. Not the book, the movie, the show Game Changer. And I heard him say, cut out the middleman. I was brought up on beef and fish and like crawfish and like, pies and bad foods, Louisiana, right? Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I saw that show Game Changer. And next morning I didn't eat food, chicken or fish for 90 days. I'm 63 years old, and at the time I was 62, I guess. And my energy went through the ceiling.
Oh my gosh. And you don't need more energy.
and then at 3 days it was high, 4 days it was high, 5 days it was high. And then it peaked, and then it just stayed there. And my body felt better. I felt lighter. I was sleeping better. And so I go off and on. I eat a little bit of meat, but in March of last year, late February last year, I went and did this show called Undercover Billionaire that's on Discovery Channel.
My son was watching it last night. I had my 15-year-old watch it, and I was showing him, you guys, because he's like, what has mom been doing? Why did you go to Miami and all this stuff? And he was like, he's in his 60s. He looks like he's in his 40s. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm 40s. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And so I got dropped off in Pueblo, Colorado with $100. I have no food, no water, an old truck, and I can't use my name. And so in Pueblo, if you've ever been to Pueblo, it's very difficult to find vegan food in Pueblo. And so I did my best. I lived on beans and rice and quinoa for 90 days. So that helped being in that environment once I figured out how to do it. But well, I stole food from no, don't tell anybody, but I would go to the farms at night. And and I would get vegetables from the farm. So I got sweet potatoes from this farm in Pueblo, and I lived on sweet potatoes for like 90 days. I didn't spend that $100 that Discovery gave me. I didn't spend one penny for 90 days.
You know, and we were watching another episode and he went through that money kind of fast. He was down, he kept hitting zero over and over again. Stearns, the Stearns
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. And when I did this with Discovery, because, you know, they called me and asked me if I would do the show. And then they, you know, they do all this research on you and they see that I have you know, a tribe of haters on the internet. And people hate me for this and that and that. And so I went in, I met them, and I walked in the meeting, and a lady named Nancy that runs Discovery Channel said, "Hey, you think you can do this?" I said, "Do you think I can do what?" And she's like, "Do you think you could build $1 million business with no money in 90 days? And I said, 100%. I said, "But I don't need 90 days. And she's like, "What? Are you teasing me right now? Are you playing with me?" And I'm like, "No." I'm in this big room, big conference room. There's probably 12 executives there. I'm like, "I don't need the $100. I'll take the truck. I'll take the phone. I don't need the 90 days. I'll bet you $1 million I can do it." "Oh no, we can't bet you $1 million." I said, "I will give you $1 million in cash if I don't do it. I want to do it in less than 90 days. So, and I want to do it with my family." This is pre-COVID.
Right.
Okay. Now, for everybody listening, okay, that's like, oh, reality TV's all made up. This show, not one thing that you see on this show didn't happen. Not one show, not one scene.
It wasn't staged, because I've done Living Alaska and that was totally staged.
Totally produced. They came to me one day and said, "Hey, we got this guy we want you to meet." I'm like, I didn't come up with that deal. And they're like, "Well, we just think he'd be good for TV." "Yeah, well, you guys go interview the guy. I'm not going to meet him until I meet him." Nobody's doing anything for me. I went to the bank when I got to Pueblo, and this is what every real estate agent needs to know. You need people. You don't need money.
Yes.
Once you're certain about your ability to go get the right people, the right listing, to knock on the right door, exactly what you can say. When you have that, you will have a listing funnel so full of opportunities. But if you don't know how to do that, you're going to wait for people to call you. And that's a problem. I got dropped off in Pueblo. I think it was on a Thursday afternoon. I went straight to Wells Fargo, dropped off the $100. Discovery was like, "Why are you dropping off the money? You're going to need it." I don't need $100. What I need to do next is go do a workout. And they're like, "Why are you going to the gym?" I'm like, "Because people are at the gym." They thought I wanted to go to the gym to get a workout in. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere without one goal. And my goal is simply to meet people. People will take care of me while I'm in Pueblo. And so the goal in the first 10 days was to meet at least 100 highly qualified Pueblo connected people. I did 142 people in the first 10 days. I didn't spend one penny, didn't have to. Lived in a $68,000 RV, drove a $40,000 truck. Discovery was so pissed off at me because they're like, "This isn't a TV show if you're doing well." You know, we need to see you suffer. So anyway, you guys can watch it on Discovery, but it will definitely humanize. For those of you who don't like Grant Cardone, the persona, my pushy self, you're going to see you're going to see something different than what you see on Instagram or YouTube or what somebody told you. And you're going to see that just like you care and love your family and you love your name and you want to prove yourself for yourself and to make your family proud in this show, you'll get to spend enough time with me to see who I really am and what I'm really up to, that you can never see that on an Instagram post that's 60 seconds long.
And when your objective is to teach people to sell something. So, you know, it's like we see the side of you, that's your business side. We don't see the human side of you on. And so one of my business partners, and you know him, he interviewed you, Eric Upchurch. He said, you were on our Active Duty Passive Income podcast. And he said, "I realize why Grant is unapologetically loud about his passion when we interviewed him. His upbringing made him understand that he deserves and needs to change lives." And you got to know the man. That's from Eric.
Oh, that's beautiful. Tell Eric, thank you. And, you know, I mean, I was really like, as a kid at 10 years old, 11, 12 years old, I wanted somebody to help me and nobody did. And it made me very, very angry. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was so angry. I mean, I can feel it right now as I talk to you. I was so angry because I felt so alone. My dad had passed.
Going through that right now. Elena knows my son is going through that right now.
Yeah. So, and a mom can't be a dad. And my
Right.
mom was trying to be a dad, and it's impossible.
Mhm.
And I'm a good father. I'm a terrible mother. And my mother was a great mother, but she could not be my father. And I needed a man. And so what happened was I was looking for somebody to help me so badly that a drug dealer says, I'll help you. And I went down that path for 10 years. And once I got over that, I promised myself, because I had betrayed me. I was treasonous to me,
Mhm.
that I promised the makeup would be, if I ever made it, I would be the uncle to other people that my uncles weren't for me, because my uncles did not step in. They had their own lives. I'm not blaming them. I understand they had their own lives, their own kids, their own
I wish
problems.
that somebody would have just come in and mentored you.
I went to school to find a coach. I joined the football team to get a coach. I joined the baseball team to get a coach. I would join anything to get somebody to say, you're going to be fine, son. And so that's what I'm doing with my life today. And unfortunately, you can't just lead with help. The internet is so noisy. I'm competing with Kim Kardashian. I'm competing with everybody. I'm competing with the big movie this weekend, Godzilla, that did, whatever, $50 million. I'm competing with the Bitcoin noise, the NFC stuff. I'm competing, like, we're all competing with all that. You're
All
not.
the commodity of attention.
Yes, exactly. And if you're a real estate agent, you are competing with everything that's noisy.
And all the other realtors.
And all the other realtors that maybe they're complaining, because there is an abundant amount of complaining, gossip, criticism, finger pointing in the real estate space. Like I'm notorious for talking about, look, trashing real estate agents that are amateurs. I'm like, if you're an amateur, I'm not going to give you a pass. If you're a professional that wants to do better, I'll do anything to help you.
And you know what's amazing is sometimes even it's like when if a new realtor doesn't get under a mentor, I've heard some new realtors say, well, I just fail forward. I'm like, you're failing forward with someone else's money. Go fail forward with your own money. Don't take your clients and fail forward. Like, get under a mentor who can teach you and know, like, you can't, like, we are selling real estate. Some people invest their entire lives into their homes, like their sweat, blood, tears that produces $10 an hour to get a down payment that took them 5 years to do that,
Yeah,
And
and now you're competing with all these other new technologies, and
mhm.
now you have to actually be a
You
business
have to know
person.
your stuff.
Yeah, you got to figure out, how do I market? Do I run ads? How do I handle the leads? Who's going to handle that when I'm showing a house? What happens when a deal unwinds? I got the license I got to deal with. I got my kids. I got 2 beautiful kids. Like, I want to spend more time with them, not less time with them as they grow up. So it's like the real estate agent, unlike other sales jobs, like selling cars, you don't have all these other things to worry
You
about.
leave the car lot, but real estate is consuming.
They're calling you at midnight. Hey, like, they're calling you first thing in the morning. This morning, I wake up at 7:45. The first call I get at 7:45 this morning is from a bank saying, hey, we're getting ready to go process. I need to know this, and this about this. I'm like, why are you calling me this early? Because he's getting ready to go into committee right now. And they're freaking out. And this is a $68 million loan. So just so everybody here knows, I don't have a real estate license, but I have bought and sold $2.4 billion worth of real estate. So some part of that game I know and understand. We still own $2.2 billion worth of deals right now. I bought a bunch of high-end luxury homes. I've had more than one experience with real estate agents. I know some of the best in the country, if not the best, as well as commercial brokers that have done 50 billion in career sales.
Mhm. Yeah. So, so you've seen the gamut of them. And so when it comes to, so we talked about, you're going to teach the sales strategies, the scripts, the objections, all of that. And what I love about it is the realtors, we have all these fancy scripts. And I was telling this to my partner, that you came on and you said, have you heard enough for you to make a decision right now? And it's like the simplest way to close
Totally.
conversation. It's not
even when
fancy. It wasn't complicated.
no, exactly. Like the old school, what was the guy's name? I'm going blank. Brian Tracy, Tom Hopkins.
Right.
These guys, this was old school sales stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That game has changed. There's tremendous basics in that. Okay. What Tony Robbins did years ago. Okay. That's fine. But I mean, you're not going to walk on fire before you get a listing. It's just not real. And you're not going to not answer. You're showing a $16 million house. You're not going to not answer and use the hot potato that Tom Hopkins became so famous for. It's just not real. Today, people need information. Trulia and Zillow are the creation of real estate people that would not change because they would not share the MLS.
Right.
Had you guys shared the MLS, had you shared the MLS, okay, and not been like, oh, scarcity driven, I can't share it, you would not have Zillow and Trulia, okay? Zillow and Trulia were formations because real estate agents and brokers for years don't share the information. And so today we're in an information society where whoever gets the most attention will end up with the most listings and the most sales and the most production. And that's why day 2 of this coaching with me, all I'm going to do is share with you.
$97 is the boot camp, and I'll post the link. I'm going to post it right here.
Yeah, post the link where they get it for the $97 special. So it's 3 days. Friday, all day Friday is about money and finance. Now, the reason I lead with the money and finance is because nobody's in sales because they love sales. You're in sales because you want to make money. So you might love houses. You might love Beverly Hills. You might love all that. You might love showing homes.
Right.
But you're in the game because you want to make some money. And you might not love money, by the way, but you love what you can buy with money. So on day one,
for your family and vacations and the freedom and all of that stuff. Yeah.
I'm going to challenge everything you know about money. And I'm going to show you why most people are living 10 times below their financial potential. So if you're making 200 grand a year, I'm going to show you exactly how you can make 2 million and how much your life would be different. In fact, I can show you how to do 2 million a month. Now would your life change? And some people watching right now, they're like, 2 million a month. Come on, nobody. Oh yeah, there's plenty of people that make 24 million bucks a year. And you would just have to figure out, how do I do this to do this other thing? You might have to add 2 things, but your life would
you take whatever you're passionate, like you tell me that, and I'm like, I would love to go and do the charities that I love with that, right?
Yeah.
And to just, it's about what money can do for your passions.
Yeah.
Like money is a vehicle for you to be able to.
And maybe you can live on 2. You live on 2, spend it, take care of the kids, and give the other 22 away. But the point is, in this workshop, what I'm going to do is lift the limitations. Mm-hmm. We know there's $24 million or $2 million on the planet. Okay. We know the money's there. It's like, okay, how can we strategize your mind like from A to B? How do I get to that point? What is the exact steps I would need to make? Day 2 is all about the only way you can get to any number is through people. There is no other way. There's not a product, a service. There's not better service.
So that's why I love when you say it's all about your partnerships and your collaborations.
It's about the P and the P and the P. People, people, and people. And it's not who you know, it's who knows you. It's not about you calling for a listing. It's about them calling you saying, I want to list the house with you. And never before in my lifetime, I'm 63 years old, never before in my lifetime is that possible like it is today. Because all these billion-dollar social media companies are sitting there. Most people do not know how to use them. They're being used by them. I'm going to show you how to become highly productive without spending a penny, how to become a celebrity in your market for the type of real estate that you sell. And then Sunday, we're going to put it all together so you can stay. This will not be something that just wears off on Monday, but that you actually have the pieces and the commitments and the strategies in place so that you can execute. And this is not just another thing that you did.
Not another thing you threw $97 at that you didn't show up for, you didn't apply in your life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, and I appreciate you guys giving us the time with your family, that you had dinner before Clubhouse, because we are. And by the way, guys, if you're listening, we are going to be on Clubhouse tonight with Elena Cardone and the 10X Estates team, talking about all things real estate. So you want to follow us in the Clubhouse. We'll be on there at 8 p.m. And Elena, who I am just so ecstatic about, she's going to be on here on April 14th at 11 a.m. Pacific. We're doing a big feature on Elena and her journey to her license and why she decided to get her real estate license. Because let's face it, number one, Grant and Elena did not need to come under someone else's brand. They have their own all by themselves. And number two, she definitely didn't need another career. She has such a different reason of why she is creating this opportunity for people. And so I'm excited for her to share her journey. It is a beautiful conversation that she had with us at GrowthCon. It made everybody cry. So, I think Grant was a little jealous because Elena took the stage. She took the cake. She had the keynote speech of the entire conference.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm so happy to be able to give my wife this platform, and I couldn't have built it without her. And we've, we learned a lot in 2008. Hopefully a lot of the agents here were in the business in 2008 and learned from that. I know Elena and I really came together as a couple in 2008, and really over the last short 10 years, 12 years, have built something that we're both very proud of. And we're looking forward to building something even bigger with the help of so much of your audience. What we're doing with EXP is really exciting for us. And we just getting started. Every morning we wake up, we're like, when we gonna make it?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so, so grateful. Thank you for your dinner time that you spent with us, and tell Sabrina, thank you for saying hello to everybody.
So much. Okay. We should do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. So grateful, Grant. And I'll see you on Clubhouse. Okay.
Okay, Vanessa, thanks.
Bye, friend.